Okay, so this is an experiment with some alcohol stoves with different fuels. This one is not burning. That one is. That one is. And that one is. Okay, so the first one has lamp oil in it, same thing that's in that lantern. Then we have, so it didn't light on its own. It needs a wick. Then we use the alcohol stove that I made, one of them, for alcohol. That's alcohol there. And then these two are methyl hydrate. And we're gonna see, oh, look at that. There she blooms. So homemade first one, homemade second one, and then this is the Trangia clone. And look at them go. There we go. Right on. So that's really interesting to see that. There we go. So the problem with alcohol, you can see that big yellow flame. It works, but it burns really dirty. So what it does is it makes the pots black with soot, whereas you can see the methyl hydrate on the right burns very, very clean. Now I've put approximately the same amount of oil in each of them, and the one canister I left open is probably the safest one to leave open because it's just the lamp oil and it needs a wick. So we'll close that up, and we have the alcohol and the methyl hydrate over there. So yeah, the alcohol is the alcohol is definitely the biggest and brightest. So it's burning, no problem. They all have roughly the same amount in. I didn't measure them exactly. I probably should have, so I could have timed this. But we'll see how long this goes for. So I'm going to pause it now because we're just coming up to 3 minutes since I started this, and then we'll come back when it's burned down a bit. Okay, it's starting to burn down. I can see them. I'm not sure if you can see in there, but you can see it bubbling. So that one, they're starting to burn out. I get the feeling the Trangia clone is the one that's going to last the longest. I think just because of the way it's made, but they're all giving off a good amount of heat. The alcohol one's going down. There, we're starting to see them. There goes the alcohol one. So the alcohol didn't last as long as the methyl hydrate. So I mean, that's telling me that methyl hydrate is the way to go and the cleanest. And I have to say, I'm quite impressed with my homemade one. It's blooming nicely. You can see all the blooms on it, whereas the Trangia clone, it is bloomed, but it doesn't have that nice little jets off to the side. So there you go. I think that's a pretty successful burn test. Now, granted, the Trangia clone might work better after a couple of burn-ins. My homemade one has been burned in a few times now, and I think with that, we'll probably see the Trangia clone do better over a period of time. But it also may burn more efficiently, not using as much as the homemade one, which you can see has stopped blooming, and it's going out. Okay, it's gone out. So the Trangia clone is still going, and I'm gonna say that if I had a pot on there, it would be heating that pot a lot more effectively. So yeah, the other one works, but it looks like the Trangia clone is gonna give us the more bang for the buck as far as the fuel goes. So it's starting to change colors. Now that could be just because it's breaking in, but like I said, I put roughly the same amount of methyl hydrate in both of those, so it's definitely doing better. So that's my I got my little camp lantern over there. But yeah, so that was the clone, $18 on Amazon.ca, and the homemade one was free, 2 empty beer cans. And the thing about this one here is it's cooled down yet. 2 empty beer cans, and it was the bottoms that I used, whereas this one here was the bottom and the top, and it didn't work as well. Even with the methyl hydrate, it didn't work as well. So it's all about experimentation and having fun. Anyway, we're gonna let the Trangia carry on, and I'm gonna end the video here. And hey, have a great night. Looking forward to doing some cooking on these next.